Feminism says you do you, but feminism's group chat says, did you see what she's done? Lindsay Lohan, child star turned tabloid fixture, turned comeback queen.
And have you been sober since we last met?
Yeah.
Hello. Let's celebrate that. That's where you are right now. Look at how great that is.
Turned internet meme for trying to cry with Botox. And now she is the face of glow-up culture. The internet is losing its shit over her appearance post-baby, aged 38. People are saying she's aging backwards. She must be a witch. It's me. And that they need the name of her surgeon. We can all agree the woman looks absolutely phenomenal. Can we just leave it there? No. No. Casual chat of a Tuesday, this. We're going to be going into what many are calling the new undetectable era of plastic surgery. Some feminism, beauty standards going into 2025, because literally what are those? Is it just me, or is it like a Rubik's Cube designed by a sadist? Honestly, like, the media showers a woman with praise if her cosmetic enhancements pass the natural test. She's hailed as effortlessly glowing, but if a procedure shows the faintest signs of its handiwork, don't the knives come out? Look at Kylie Jenner, what she has to endure every time she dares to step outside. She's held up as a cautionary tale, you know, an example of what not to do. And so we're like playing this game now where it's like looking perfect good, but showing the seams bad. Then if you do nothing as a woman in the entertainment industry, you'd better have a personality that can juggle fire if you don't want to fade into the background. Like,
and so there was a wee rig. God, why do I tell these stories? And then it would just gush. But the problem is, when you're a girl, it doesn't go in a stream down the middle. It goes all down the leg and no paper. So this was not a good shot.
Or turn the lights off. That's what I generally do. Just switch them off, and then you're safe. You know, you don't suddenly catch sight of yourself and think, "What was that? Oh my God, that was."
I've never done anything to my face, and I would like to try to not to. Never say never. I can never get married again. That's true. I'll never get married again.
Oh, you mean that for reals?
Never!
When you've a career in the public eye and people are not talking about your face, you do have to work twice as hard, wielding a sense of humour and depth of character and many good deeds, wielding them like a sword against an audience that has been trained to pay their attention to the headlines that dissect flaws and flawlessness. To say I'm fascinated by the glow-up narrative is an understatement. This narrative tells us that when someone, usually someone famous, usually a woman, someone who was once a mess emotionally, physically, and or professionally, fixes themselves, so they fix themselves, we can then firstly breathe a collective sigh of relief because, oh, thank God that's over. And secondly, we can and should dare to dream that the same is possible for us. It's possible for us to earn more, to look hotter, for us to win the Who Dies Alone competition that apparently we're all supposed to be in with our exes. If your algorithms are anything like me, they have sussed that you saw a before and after picture of Lindsay Lohan and you clicked on it because you're a nosy little bitch, and damn it, they work. They lure in our attention because Lindsay was our darling growing up. You know, she was just such a huge part of my childhood.
Okay, that's enough.
And I'm interested and I want to see her killing it, you know? So yeah, my algorithm knows. And it has just fed me this non-stop stream of Lindsay Lohan discourse in the past couple of weeks. And the comments under all of these posts about her scream, she looks so much better. You know, better than what? Better than herself in a darker chapter of her life when She wasn't sober. She was battling with addiction and bulimia. We'll all remember that.
The US actress Lindsay Lohan has been sentenced to 90 days in jail after a judge ruled that she'd violated her probation.
Or is the subtext, she looks better than women her age who decide not to spend hundreds of thousands of euro or dollars or pounds, on procedures, better than if she looked her age? Or is it better than her first attempt at turning back the clock, with all of the fillers that she had? Wouldn't it be nice if the discourse was focused around the fact that Lindsay seems to be living her best life right now. She is happily married. She has a beautiful baby boy.
More verbal, and he's running a lot. He's like a little boy now.
Her career seems to be just going from strength to strength, and she has escaped the paparazzi. She moved to Dubai, so she's getting to experience a more normal day-to-day existence, possibly for the first time in her adult life. She also has completely overhauled her lifestyle. She's eating healthy, all that good stuff. And you can tell she just has that kind of glow from within. But no, her appearance is just being hyper-analysed and is being used as a barometer for her success.
These are all the treatments I think Lindsay Lohan has had done as an aesthetics doctor working in the industry. Botox, surgical brow lift, upper blepharoplasty, rhinoplasty, some degree of surgical facelift, likely an endoscopic approach, lip lift, lip fillers and veneers. From a skincare perspective, I'd say laser resurfacing and a dermatologist-led skincare routine. And the cost of this, if you combine everything together, would be in the range of $200,000 to $300,000. So a lot of money has gone in to look like this.
Like if she had come back after all those hard times she had with wrinkles and, a softer jawline and just, that bit more character in her face, the kind of lived experience of hell, would we all be quietly turning away, figuring she must be still finding herself? Probably. After I had my daughter, I know there was a period of time when, other parents will relate to this, I was just trying to get through the day, each day, and how I looked was very low down on my priorities list. I didn't feel great about how I looked, but I was just existing, and I would be coming on Instagram stories looking like someone who has just had a baby and has a toddler hanging out of them. And it's really embarrassing to even talk about this and the fact that I cared about this, but I did see it was temporary, but I saw a dip in interest in my content, in engagement, in interaction. It really did leave me feeling all these feelings about my looks and how I present myself online. And I'm still working through this. I'm still trying to figure out, have I been partly responsible in setting myself up to be kind of looked upon, over the years, sharing skincare tips and tricks, advice on hair and talking about fashion. And these are all very obviously appearance related things. And obviously that's not all I've discussed. However, I've always tried to come on camera looking put together as I am today, though I don't always look like this. Sometimes I also look like this. This was literally this morning. Lighting and makeup play a big role in this illusion. Yeah, there's been lots of chat about this with my therapist. My therapist works with BetterHelp, and BetterHelp are the paid partner of this video. They can connect you with a therapist within a couple of days. Because, juggling a career and family and health and the impact that social media has on our brains, it can be really overwhelming. And that's what therapy's there for. You don't need to have clinical depression or intense anxiety to benefit from therapy. I know for me, therapy has provided me with many tools to help me regulate myself, and it gives you that shoulder to cry on. Not that you have to cry, but you can lean on them, and they're unbiased. And yeah, therapists can listen and help with whatever it is that you need help with right now in your life. With BetterHelp, there's no waiting room and there's no commute. You can chat to them through your phone with a weekly video call, and you can message them at any time, which is very helpful for me. I have ADHD, it turns out. And yeah, I'll often forget things that I want to talk about. Like I'll be like, oh, I have to bring that up with my therapist. But if I don't have somewhere to dump that thought where my therapist can actually see that thought written down, it probably won't get discussed. So yeah, it was actually BetterHelp who encouraged me to seek ADHD assessment, and it turned out they were correct. And that has been an amazing gift of self-understanding and self-compassion. To be diagnosed at 35, absolutely life-changing. I personally cannot speak more highly of BetterHelp based on my own experience with them. If you're interested in trying therapy, you can check the link I have in the description box. It'll give you a discount on your first month with them. You just have to fill out a short questionnaire and then you'll be matched with someone who fits your needs. And for whatever reason, if you don't think that they're the right match for you, it's free and very straightforward to switch therapists. Some of us give more care and attention to our faces than our brains, and I'd really love to see that change. And I love BetterHelp because it is an affordable and accessible way to get started on that journey. And speaking of journeys, the journey of beauty standards through the ages. Wow. Beauty standards have never been static. We know this, and you'd swear some trends are like boomerangs. History is, in a way, repeating itself right now. Celebs went from thin to thick and back again before. Poor Mary down the road, who just wanted to keep up, could finish paying off her Brazilian butt lift operation loans. The beauty ideal right now is a weird paradox. You have to look natural but enhanced, you know, glowing but not sweaty. Pamela Anderson, what a babe. You know, she has recently been walking red carpets without makeup on. And everyone is heralding her as brave. It's almost seen as radical to do that, even though she's one of the most beautiful women in the world. And of course, she's had some tweaks. And even still, we're telling this woman that she's brave to go makeup free. Meanwhile, same time period, you know, Christina Aguilera shows up looking like she has not aged since Genie in a Bottle.
What is the difference between 2001 Christina Aguilera and 2024 Christina Aguilera? She doesn't have a puffy pillow face, and she also seems to not have aged one bit. That is because we have entered the undetectable era.
People are wetting their knickers, waiting for Google to load up with a list of Christina Aguilera's current favourite skincare products and the exact placement of her filler, her Botox. I'm like a dinosaur on here. I've been making YouTube videos since 2013, and in that time I've seen the industry of aesthetic enhancements rise alongside social media, and we've almost witnessed Botox and fillers go from being taboo to being almost standard. I'm not saying either of those things is a good thing, but you know, that's just what's happened. That's just the facts. And it is wild how much the results you can achieve have improved. There has been significant improvement in these procedures in the past decade. We've moved away from overly worked on looking faces. Like, I grew up with, you know, Michael Jackson. That's what I thought of when I thought of plastic surgery. And now we really are moving into this era where it's very much undetectable. You know, you can have plastic surgeons looking at an aftershot and even they can't figure out exactly what it is that has made the big difference here. And that's shocking, that they can do facelifts without obvious scarring.
An optimum mobility facelift with no scars on the face. Any facelift in general needs a scar in this area in front of the ear. But there is a technique in which this scar is not done. How? When the patient is not too old, like between 40 and 50 years old, and when there is not too much laxity in the face here. So how is the technique done? The incision is hidden behind the ear, in the neck, and the pull of the lower face and the neck is done in this area here, from the back. And then the rest of the face is taken from the temple and from the forehead. This way you look younger, but without having that incision that sometimes can tell that you had a facelift.
Someone can get a subtle tweak here, a customized lift there, and a teeny tiny implant here and here and here. It's just enough so that you look amazing and nobody can figure out why. You know, obviously if someone gets their teeth done and their eyebrows done and has some beautiful makeup on, you can kind of spot the change. But these tweakments are becoming very invisible. Very few celebrities come out on Instagram being like, just got a new facelift. The goal is to look like you've woken up like that, but only after a team of scientists has worked months perfecting the illusion. Look, nobody looks like this. Nobody looks like this. And we're calling this natural. Natural. Oh, it just makes me think of those TikToks where, and they're on Reels on Instagram all the time, where girls show what they actually look like, natural, then natural makeup, you know, that kind of makeup-free makeup where you're wearing makeup, you don't want to look like you're wearing makeup so you can get away with it in school or whatever. And then there's like the natural filters, you know, and then you're standing in natural lighting, which always blurs out so many imperfections. And we, not just our young, like not just the teenagers growing up in this insane period of time, and I think about my kids a lot when I'm discussing topics like this, but we as well, we, like me, have lost touch with what natural even means. Long have we lived in a world where the girl in the video doesn't even look like the girl in the video. And when it comes to this fact, it's like we all have Alzheimer's. Like, you know, I know it, but then I'm still looking at stuff and measuring myself against that, even though in the back of my brain, I do know that it's a construction. Like, I've come on here before and filmed videos on days when my makeup has been holding it together more than I have. And that's the thing about working as a content creator. You know, it's not just about the content. Unfortunately, it is about you too. It's about your face, your skin, your hair. It all gets bundled up, packaged up alongside your words, ideas, whatever it is that you're trying to share. And as much as I wish I could rise above it, the pressure to look presentable is real. It is always lurking for me. I was going to film this video yesterday and I didn't have any of my root dye to like spray to cover my root. You probably can still see some greys poking through, but I didn't have any of that left. And I thought, I can't possibly go on camera like this. And it's not like that was dramatic, you know. I've done that on days when my eyes have looked a bit tired, on days I've had a couple of spots, on days, you know, if I have a hair sticking up in a way that is personal, just won't flatten down. And I know that my internet family wouldn't care. The trolls would, but I know you guys wouldn't really care. But I've been trained to care because of those comments from trolls. You know, even ones that seem innocent. It's like, are you okay? You look really tired. Those can be like a kick in the fanny because, yeah, I'm tired, but it's almost part of my job to not look it because I'm essentially presenting. You know, you don't see people going on to TV not put together. It's just not something we are used to. Like, we can throw up an Instagram story or hide a little bit in a vlog where we look how we typically do most of the day, but you're not going to put that on a YouTube thumbnail. And if you do, it typically won't perform very well. And if you're an actress and you're constantly going on Instagram, just not trying, as they say, you probably won't get as many roles. Imagine Sabrina Carpenter releasing Please, Please, Please and all these songs that have done extremely well for her recently. Imagine she just did nothing. No makeup, no hair dye, no tweakments, and put out those songs. I just wonder how they would have done. There's an unspoken rule that you are to look polished in order to be taken seriously. And it isn't even just in this industry. My husband is a pilot, and I know for sure, like, he can't go into work not having brushed his hair, and he shaves and he makes sure his clothes are completely stain free and ironed, and like he would never get a tattoo in a very visible place. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? We just love this comparison game, don't we? Where we're scrolling social media and, I'll be seeing these other creators glowing with this otherworldly energy, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out, is it lighting? Did they have something done? Is it a filter? Are they actually an elf? And that's when I start spiraling. I'm like, should I try harder? Am I right to be deciding against getting fillers and Botox? Because I've shared that those things are not for me, like they terrify me. But then I start thinking like, oh, well, I never said I wouldn't get a facelift. My brain starts going 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And I don't know what that looks like for me in this industry. We haven't seen a full life cycle of a content creator yet, because we've only been around 10 to 15 years. And then here's the kicker. It's in the moments where I have come on camera without makeup on, or that everything's fine act. Like, those are the moments when I connect with people the most. Those are the moments that have made content creation rewarding for me. When it's me with greasy hair being chaotic, absolutely knackered. And it makes sense. Like, we're all just human, and we all just want to see our experiences reflected back in the eyes of others, and for us all to comfort each other through this madness. And we're all sick of people looking perfect. Well, many of us are, but you really wouldn't think it with the internet orgasming in unison over Lindsay Lohan's glow up. I'm trying to let go of the pressure to be always on. I want to start monthly vlogging again next year. I used to do that, and when I'm doing that, some days, yes, I will show up and I will be camera ready, but some days I will look like I've been dragged through a hedge, and that will be okay. It should be okay. It should be okay if I get a facelift or if I look like Hagrid. But let's be real. Feminism says you do you. But Feminism's group chat says, did you see what she's done? Body autonomy. We get to decide what to do with our bodies. Whether it's Botox, whether it's fillers, whether it's embracing wrinkles like a badge of honour, like proof we've lived a life, we've smiled, we're still alive. Lovely. But in practice, any support we do share with each other as women often comes with a side of judgment. My dear friend Hannah Witten decided not to wear makeup online anymore.
I used to wear makeup every day, and now 99% of the time I don't wear any makeup. I basically haven't worn any makeup other than for special events since my son was born in 2022, almost 2.5 years ago. My job is very on camera, making YouTube videos and social media content, and before, even on days when I wouldn't wear makeup, I would always put makeup on to film. I hated the idea of being on camera with my bare face, but look at me now.
Brave, so brave. Seriously, that's what was going on in my head, because I was like, I could never, I wish I was that brave. But that's, she can't just show up without makeup on and there be no thought process behind that or commentary on it. Because it's like you go from being on camera with makeup to not wearing makeup, and then you have to come out and talk about why, and then everyone is talking about how they feel about why. Lydia Millen, she's a content creator, love her. Perfect face. And a little voice just sings out in my head, cheating.
Sure, wouldn't we all look that perfect if we could all get those treatments done?
And I'm just like, shut up. Like, what? She's beautiful. End of. Hannah's beautiful. End of. I say that, but then it's like, does it even matter if they are or are not beautiful? If their heart is beautiful, shouldn't that matter more? It does matter more, but yeah. A lot of us say, you do you, but we secretly hope that you make choices that align with our values. It's not just like that in the aesthetics space either. I don't know, people will unfollow someone if they have a slightly different opinion to them on a political issue or whatever, and they build these echo chambers online where they just wipe away anyone who has a different, some people will refuse to follow someone if they have admitted to having, I don't know, a tummy tuck or whatever. And I get that. I get wanting to fill your feed with bodies that resemble your own, so you're not going to compare yourself so much and stuff. But also, it's just really sad that we can't instead move past this comparison game, and that we can see someone living differently, looking differently, choosing differently, and be like, yeah, happy for you, also happy for me. I know I've talked about, not going down the fillers and Botox route and all that, but this isn't about deciding what choice is the better choice. The choice to age naturally, the choice to want to look how you used to look or want to stay looking the same. I use retinol, I use SPF for those reasons. Yeah, or the choice to look like a completely different person. It's about how none of us really get to make a choice without a running commentary. That might be from our family, it might be, in a forum that talks about influencers, it might be in an online magazine, newspaper, it might be just in a comment section and people throwing out the, she looks so haggard, or she's ruined her face, or she looks great, but it's all fake. She should be ashamed of herself. I think, this is my opinion, but I think Lindsay's real glow up is something that can't be injected or bottled. It's not about what she had done, her new eyebrow placement, who did her bloody teeth. It's about her self-reclamation, her very obvious internal transformation, her resilience. After years of living under the unrelenting scrutiny of Hollywood and tabloid culture, she chose to rebuild her life on her own terms. She's found peace. She's prioritizing her well-being. She's creating a life that aligns with how she wants to show up in the world. Yes, some of her radiance may have a price tag attached, but at the end of the day, she's the same beautiful person that she started out as. That light really comes from within. It comes from her eyes. And unless they're actually out here replacing eyeballs, like in that movie Minority Report, I'm sure they're her real eyeballs, people. I'm sure they are. I do think that we need to question the stories we tell ourselves about what it means to age, what it means to change, what it means to thrive. We need to question the urges we feel to leave comments under these photos we see. Comments that speculate, comments that accuse, comments that abuse. Because these comments set us back. Like, there's comments that celebrate no longer having normal things like freckles, wrinkles, smile lines. You never know who might be reading that, how they might be affected. But I want to know your thoughts on this whole situation, her glow up, aging in this day and age, beauty standards, all of it. Let's chat down in the comments. I love your input. I love the community I've built on this channel. And yeah, I make videos like this once a month. I have a playlist. Please subscribe, stick around, ring the bell, all that good stuff, and follow me over on Instagram. We have lots of fun on there. I'm going to give you a little kiss with my overlined lips.